Hey, you guys, it's me, Miss Bobby. I know it has been quite a while since I've posted, and I'm gonna jump right into it. You already know I'm always on something. I'm not for sure what all has taken place since the last video, so I'm gonna just do a recap of, let's see, the summer months leading up to September. So, probably about April or May, I realized I was ready to go back to work. The in home childcare was not actually doing as well as I had anticipated it to do. And I was just ready to be a little bit more active and get out of the house. So let me say that once I had mentally agreed with myself that I was going back to the warehouse working life, I started to have a pain in my left foot and ankle that I had never experienced before. And I'm pretty sure that I've put it on here before that I've had issues with the right foot and ankle, but never the left. So I chalked it up to just, the whole being overweight, of course, and trying to gear up and exercise. And maybe I just hurt something and didn't remember. Started icing it, compression socks, all the norm, everything I pretty much did with the right foot. I get a job. I actually reapplied for a job that I had maybe 3, 4 years ago where I was working for a boating company, and they accepted me right away, and I started work the first week in June, and loved it. It was very much a challenge. My body hadn't moved like that and at that pace for that long in quite a while. They were 11-hour shifts, I believe, 10 or 11-hour shifts, and you're constantly on your feet, constantly. All of a sudden, the small aches and pains grew. At first, I chalked it up to my body just adjusting to the job because it was my back and it was my bottom of my feet, and my wrists and hands were aching. I was starting to deal with the nerve damage that I have in both of my wrists, which mimic a lot of the symptoms from carpal tunnel, if I'm pronouncing it right. But anyway, I'm still getting it. I am still getting it. I'm getting up every day. I'm going to work. I'm, financially, a little bit more independent and also able to help around the house. Don't worry about that beeping. And my company is trying to roll me over. There's like, because I started as a temp, they're trying to roll me over. So I'm like in the middle of this process when my ankle flare up so bad, and I'm wrapping it every day and I'm icing it every night, and I'm taking ibuprofen to try to control the swelling, and it's not helping. And I'm really skeptic about the ibuprofen because it messes with my high blood pressure. But I mean, I'm basically limping for 10 hours a day at work. I limp to my car when I'm getting off at night. I limp up the steps to get in the door when I get home. And it's like the pain in my foot and ankle keeps me up all night long. It just got to be too much. So, along with having several different types of dental work done back to back to back to back, and I am not exaggerating with this. I'm talking about 2 or 3 different regular dentist appointments, cleaning, fill-ins, 2 on one side, 3 on the other side. Shortly after, I have to go to the dentist to get put to sleep to get my wisdom teeth taken out. Something common happens, which is, of course, as they pull your teeth out, bone fragments can break off and migrate through your gums. So, literally, 2 days after my surgery, I noticed something protruding through my gums. Um, I dealt with that for a few weeks. They tried to go into the dentist's office. They tried to nip it down. That didn't work. So then I had to go in for another procedure for them to numb me up and cut me open and try to pull out the bone fragment that was in my gum. All of this is going on while suffering with the foot and ankle issue at a new job, missing days. I don't know if you ever realized this about me, but when I work, I work. And when I dedicate myself to my job and whatever my duties are, I try to be that reliable employee. I'm always there. This was tearing my nerves up. It has torn my nerves up. So upon getting everything situated with my mouth, the ankle flares up. I'm literally at a place where I'm like, okay, I have got to figure out what's going on. But everybody that would see me for my foot and ankle were scheduling me out for almost a month. And I'm like, there's no way that I can still go to work for a month until I see the specialist who can tell me what's wrong. And clearly, I'll be up under at least doctor's care. Long story short, here it is, um, the second week in September, and I have been out of work since the second week of August. It's been hard. I miss my job. I miss working. I miss working out. And I'm going crazy. Originally, this video was supposed to be about the weight that I had lost. I was super excited about telling you guys that. And then being out of work for 4 weeks and not being able to work out because I'm not allowed to stand for more than 15-20 minutes within each hour with a walking boot on. Would y'all like to see Big Bertha? That's Big Bertha. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm finna go to bed. I just took Big Bertha off. But yeah, so I can't even work out. And with that being said, I'm gaining weight back. The life of PCOS, as well as being very much inactive. I wash a few dishes, sit down, make sure it's within the next hour, go and start a load of clothes or dry them, and then get that load out and fold, sweep up around the house. I mop floors. I've cleaned my home the best I can while trying to heal my foot and ankle. But while that's healing, I feel like I'm doing major damage to my mental health. And that's one of the reasons why I went back to work. I wasn't, like I say, the daycare was not doing good. I didn't have the children here to keep me occupied and keep me up and going. And I was literally falling into a depression. So now that I'm having to be forced back out of work again, I am trying to do things to keep me sane. I originally ordered me some movies that I had been wanting to add to my collection for a long time. I bought a little bit of furniture for the house. I've watched some really good movies, new and old. I'm trying to continue my spiritual journey and try my best to get back at a peaceful place. I don't have it right now. My peace is very much disturbed. So yeah, like my body is physically and mentally going through a lot of changes with the pain. And then there are some things that have been messing with my emotional and spiritual side of things. So yeah, so physically and mentally I'm in a lot of pain, and then emotionally and spiritually I'm drained from a lot of things. Just doing this video gives me a little bit of hope, because I've always been about accountability and just being real about what's going on in my life. And I know it seems like it's just a broken record, or my story is on repeat. You're always trying to lose weight, or you're always trying to do this, but I feel like at the end of the day, and even though for some people they're like, no, quit trying and just do it. That's a nice affirmation. Don't just try, do it. But also another nice affirmation is if I'm still trying, technically I have not failed. I still have that opportunity to achieve whatever it is I'm trying to do. I'm trying to be a healthier version of me, and it's not just about losing weight because I had an awesome setup for you guys and I kept putting it off. Like I said, I was working 5, 6 days a week because I came and started this new job during peak season. So I'm working Monday through Saturday, only Sunday off. Me and Whitney trying to squeeze in time where we can because my one day off is the day she goes back to work. Um, yeah, and that was a challenge all in itself. Whitney had to adjust to me going back to work and then working so many days and hours. And, it got a little difficult adjusting from me doing the majority of the household stuff to her having to pitch in a little bit more. Me cooking as much as I was to now I don't. It was just a lot. It still is a lot. She's been very much understanding to the process of going back to work and seeing how beneficial it was for me in so many different ways. And she's been just as supportive with me being back out of work and trying to heal. She doesn't want me to rush the process. And I can give credit where credit's due. She's always said that she prefers me to be home, and it's not a I want to. She wants me to be her maid type of thing. But everybody can't keep a home a home. Everybody can't make your place peaceful. And she says that I have just given her that in the time that we've been together, and in allowing her to share this space with me that we now call home together. But she was like, it's what you do when you're here and when you work. That particular aspect of our house that makes it a home is lacking because I'm not here. Um, and it makes me feel good for her to see that what I do contribute from being home standpoint, it means so much to her. So, but yeah, so healing from the foot problem, I'm not going to be able to tell you what it's called because I'm going to mess it up, but it's kind of like tendonitis in your ankle. And basically what it is, it's a tendon that runs like down the side or behind back part of your calf into the side of your foot and ankle, and it basically supposed to hold up your arch. I have flat feet. Due to me having flat feet with no support of any kind over the years, the structure of my feet, both my left and my right foot, suffer from the same thing. The structure of my foot has collapsed. The tendon is completely unusable. So I need to heal it. And then once it's completely healed, I can get fitted for um, basically very, very high price, long lasting inserts or insoles that will go into my shoes, as well as start purchasing the right tennis shoes that support people with flat feet or collapsed ankles. So that's all of that. Um, I think the only other thing that's new is I notice, and I think this is just since I've been out of work this time, and I think it's related to my stress. I've been dealing with the left side of my head, face, shoulder, back, and a lot of pain. I have no idea what that's all about, but yeah. So now that I've shared all of I guess you would say the downside to what's been going on the last few months, let me share some of the upside. Um, First thing first, I had to go to a new back specialist. I do believe I've told you guys about my herniated disc in my back. New doctor, new x-rays. He says it does not look like things have continued to deteriorate since the last doctor checked me, which has been about 2 years. He said, so that's a good thing. He said the arthritis is still very much there in your back, and we will work on getting, you comfortable to the best of our ability with that particular back pain. I'm going to physical therapy, which should strengthen some things. And we're also hoping that with physical therapy, the numbness and the tingling that I still have to deal with and the lack of sensation on my right side from the waist down, we're hoping to regain some of that. Um, so that's good. Blood pressure's been good every here lately when I check it, as well as my sugar levels. Sugar levels can be better. We'll be honest about that. And let's just get into it. So I had hit 330 again earlier this year, like maybe January. Was able to get to 315 and it was nothing. Like it literally was like meant to be. And then all of a sudden I started struggling again. I could not get past 315. So I took a few chances with, trying to extend workouts, work out a little longer, play around with different meal plans, and I just was not really seeing anything. I would see 310 and then jump right back up to 315. So, long story short, I jumped back on the wagon of the HCG drops or some type of form of weight loss drops. And it took 2 months roughly, and they don't normally recommend that long. And I say 2 months because there was a break in between where the dental work was going on and I stopped because for like a week or two I was not eating anything. So if I want to be 100% honest, from start to finish, it was 2 months. But from the time that I put in with the drops and the actual meal plans for the HCG protocol, it was more like, I won't lie to you, 5 or 6 weeks. And in that time, I went from 315 to 285. Wow. And then all of a sudden, that because you've once you're on the drops for so long, it's like your body is telling you it's time to stop. It's time to maintain the weight that you're on, which you're supposed to, and then start again. Because I struggled for forever after the 285 and couldn't get past it. Like I haven't seen anything past that. But then I got out of work and I can't move as much. I can't, be active, and the weight is slowly coming back on me. So, not mad at all because I just said I'm just going to let my body rest. This is time I'm supposed to be letting my ankle heal. So I'm gonna let my mind from the constant, what are you gonna eat today? What are you preparing? Did you remember to take your drops? I'm gonna let my stomach rest. I'm gonna let everything rest. And then I'll start again. This is all just a rest time. This is not a I'm gonna be stopped for good. This is not even a slow down. This is rest time. So yeah, so I did hit 285. I have started to gain again, but I'm want. I'm a want. I want to. I'm trying to figure out how to say it. I want to share for real the ups and downs of this everyday life and the process of trying to be healthier. And I notice that when I do lose weight, because even though it's not just about the losing of the weight, it does play a factor in a lot of things. I am happier when I'm smaller. I feel more confidence. I'm more assured of myself. I feel like I can get more done. Um, and it just kind of it drives you forward into whatever your next goal is, your next challenge is, your next desire for wanting to do something. And this year has been definitely a roller coaster year with the baby fever and wanting to have kids and debating on do I really need to at my age, at my weight, with my health problems, with the ins and out of a marriage and a relationship, and what I mean by that is we're human. Me and Whitney have problems just like the next person does. And it makes you think like, I love this person and I'm here. I'm committed. But do we want to bring a child into a situation where what happens if I don't know, I said something crazy to her the other day. Like, what if I sneezed one day and you just thought it was disgusting and now we're fighting over a sneeze? But what happens with that is that when you're stressed about everything in your world, the simple things that never bothered you before bother you. And it's not just a her thing or a us problem, it's just life. I could be mad at my job because they haven't returned a call pertaining to this, that, or the third, and I'll get mad at her because she responds the wrong way. It's crazy. And vice versa. We were talking about sodas in the refrigerator, and she was like, "Did you put one of my sodas in the refrigerator for you?" And you could just tell that that was about to go left. And I'm just like, it's a soda. I mean, you've had stuff of mine before too. Is that a problem? And she caught herself and I caught myself because we're stressing about things that we can't control. She knows that I'm on the edge about not being able to work or go back to work, and I don't like that. And she knows that the dynamic of our relationship for me works good when I have something to do. And I don't have anything to do now, you know? So we're like, are we just stressing about stuff that we can't control and we're sabotaging ourselves? And are we setting ourselves up for failure when it comes to things like trying to decide, yes, we want kids, no, we don't want kids? And for her, and this is what bothers me, and I've said it before, and it's not like I'm talking about my wife behind her back. Let me get all the way into the camera. She's okay with whatever I say when it comes to the babies. Let me explain to you what I mean. If I say, Whitney, I don't want any kids, I'm about to be 40 in another year or two, and the weight is just going to always be a thing because PCOS is going to always be a thing. My mom left me at an early age, and I don't want to do our children like that. I wouldn't want to do you like that. She's going to look at me and she's going to say, okay, baby, let's not have kids. Let's do what you said. Let's get healthy and let's travel the world. Let's work, pay these bills, and travel the world. And that sounds awesome. But guess what? I don't care about the fact that I'm finna be 40. It shouldn't stop me from having kids. And yes, my health is definitely a big factor. However, can I continue to fight for better health and still have a child? I should be able to do that. And I also truly believe after all the relationships that I've had and marriages, I feel like it's a possibility that regardless of where me and her are at in 10 years, right now we're good. We should base our decision of having kids off of right now. We can't base it off of where we're going to be in 10 years. Because in 10 years, we could be the best of friends, but not married. In 10 years, we could be not together and still be great co-parents. Nobody gets married planning for divorce. Nobody gets married being ready for a spouse to die. So you don't plan for that. You plan now. You live now. And I'm also not saying that anything that is wrong within the relationship, a baby's gonna fix. But I definitely don't think having a baby within this relationship is gonna break anything either. We're so fixated on the negative all the time that we really forget about the positives that are right there in your face. Case in point, I have been stressing over not working and not being able to move around. But it's a difference between not moving around because you don't want to and you can't move around. This is actually my body telling me I need a rest. I had been sitting here calling myself lazy, and I'm not. I'm not a lazy person. I've been beating myself up for no reason. And I'm like, why are you doing this to yourself? Literally within this video, I am understanding that I'm not lazy. And everything that I desire, I have a right to desire that. I have a right to fight for it, to work hard for it, to continue to go for it. And trust that what's meant to be will be, because I'm going to do my part and I trust that the universe is going to do their part. I really do. Oh my God, I'm so excited now. So excited. So, okay, so yeah, mouth surgery in a boot because of my ankle, starting physical therapy for my back and my nerve damage on the right side of my body from the waist down. What else? What else? Me and Whitney's 1 year anniversary is right around the corner, like a week away. Gonna hit the beach for that and relax. And yeah, I'm having baby fever again, and we're officially starting to talk about what we want our ideal home to look like because we're about ready to buy. So yeah, 26 minutes in, and there we go. I probably could have said all that in the very beginning, some kind of way, but just really wanted to give you a rundown of what's going on. Um, like I say, things have not been the best here, but they have been worse. And that's what I got to start looking at. I got to really focus on the good that's going on around me. Even if it's just a little bit, it's better than nothing at all. I'm trying to hold this phone and my arm hurts. One of these days, I'm going to get really fancy on y'all and have a for real, video where I'm cutting to scenes and I got a nice little intro and, outro. It's going to be great one of these days. I don't know when, but yeah. I don't know if in the last video I had cut my hair or not, but I did this about a month ago. I let go of the locks and I had them for about 9 months, 8 or 9 months, I think. And I just wasn't feeling them this time around. It was so much that felt wrong with them. I wasn't connecting to them. I felt like they held a lot of negative energy, and I'm not really for sure where that came from because originally I was locking my hair up to be in representation of me and my transformation and, basically kind of, enjoying life from a different perspective. This is when I was running the daycare and, seeing things seem to be good with me. But, and I hate to say but because everything I said is very much important. So, however, I'm somebody who I'm on that place in my spiritual journey where I feel energies and vibrations and, senses and stuff like that. And the hair was just not where it was at. Now, what I can tell you, and I definitely don't know if this video is going to do it justice, I have not had any regrets since I've cut my hair at all. It feels good, and even when it don't look good to me, it still looks good. So yeah, so that's that. Definitely very much in tune with this haircut. And actually what I did is not even a haircut. I literally let my locks grow a little bit so I can get the new growth. Saturated them a little bit so I could kind of break apart the thickness that comes at the base and snipped right there. And this is literally hair that was left after I snipped. It's pretty long, but I've, scrunched it up so my curls can take their pattern, and yeah, this video is not gonna do justice to how nice my hair looks, but I'm crazy, y'all, and I've been talking for almost 30 minutes about any and everything, but maybe I need to do this more often because at one point this was a part of my therapy. This was a part of me coping and dealing. It was like my video diary. And I think maybe at some point I got afraid who was going to see or what I was saying was going to be deemed disrespectful and wrong to my friends, my family, or my marriage. And then I'm going to have to get in a place to where I can say this, and this is literally should have been like a whole nother video. If I can't speak my truth from the experiences that I have as an individual person, from a friend's point of view, from a baby sister's point of view, from a childless mother point of view, from a wife's point of view, then I don't want to be involved with anybody who's going to have issue with that, because I should definitely be able to speak. Now, you don't have to like my truth. In fact, you ain't even got to respect it if you don't want to, but don't disrespect me. I should be able to speak my truth, live my life the way I see fit, and it's not offend people, because clearly I'm not going to hurt anybody. And there's a thin line between some things which you can say and do, and I get that, and I'm always trying to be mindful. Case in point, there may have been some things I said tonight that people are gonna be like, "Well, I don't know how your wife feel about that." You're absolutely right. Hell, I don't either. But truth is, if I'm speaking the truth, that means we'll deal with it. We'll deal with it. If I say that me and Whitney are in a good place now, we haven't always been in a good place. It has definitely been worse, and it can get better. And that's how I feel about it. I should be able to say that without people having a problem with it, including her. Because I love that woman back there. She knocked out, she in the bed sleep. And I know that she loves me. Yep. And I know I drive her crazy, especially when I go back and forth with this baby fever. It is real. Okay? Real, real. But yeah, that's what it is. I mean, and more good news would be that the last potential baby donor that we had, baby daddy donor, is still willing to help, even though our schedules are crazy. So how he would help, I have absolutely no idea. But yeah, we'll see what's what. I don't know, you guys. I'm all over the place with these videos because I'm not frequent with them like I should be. So I don't know. I don't know what to say, where to go with this, what to do with it. But for the ones that are still sticking around, who will actually get to see this video and make it to the end, it's just me on the couch talking at 3-something in the morning. I miss doing this though, so maybe I need to get back into it. I hope that everyone has an awesome and blessed day, night, evening, whenever this reaches you. And let's just make sure that we are definitely, whether you're religion or spiritual, making sure you're filling up on the things that you need in that aspect. Peace, love, and light.